and gentlemen, it's your brother Bolo V&R, and I did not cover this in my previous video. I just covered the situation with Juliet Wholeness and Lisa Hannah. But let's check out what Marky G question was to Lloyd Green. Let's get it. What is this? Cancel that, man.
I want to in a parliament hear this.
Check it out.
Madam Speaker, I'll try to comply with your injunction. Minister, looking at the legal framework that now exists, I think there's more work to be done. For example, the Pre-Deal Larceny Prevention Act. Several of the offences under that act, which actually touch and concern the operations of agricultural wardens, have penalties which are long out of date and need to be modernized. And my question is, when will you address this? So, for example, under Section 15 of the Pre-Deal Larceny Prevention Act, if you're in possession of clothing or other accoutrements furnished for the use of agricultural wardens, and you can't satisfactorily account for your possession of that, or you hold yourself out, essentially, and impersonate an agricultural warden, the offense is punishable by a penalty not exceeding 20,000 Jamaican dollars. And we know that this is a money business. This Pre-Deal Larceny business is a money business, so the penalties have to be strong.
True.
So that is one example, and there are others in the Act, Section 16, which deals with wearing the uniforms of wardens and so on. So my first question is, when will you complete a review of the Pre-Deal Larceny Prevention Act, which is the primary statute dealing with this offense, or this range of offenses, to upgrade the penalties and make them really have an appropriate deterrent effect on persons who are inclined to carry out the dastardly practice of stealing people's agricultural goods, whether it be produce or livestock. That's my first question. My second question relates to the offense of Pre-Deal Larceny in the Larceny Act, which I think also needs to be upgraded and modernized in relation to the penalties there, which have not been reviewed for a long time. And the question is, when will that be addressed? And lastly, Minister, the POCA, the Proceeds of Crime Act, the second schedule of it, I think, is a schedule which applies the regime of POCA to offenses under other statutes, including asset forfeiture and really getting the money out of crime. And this is a very critical thing in the fight against crime. And my question to you is, there are a number of offenses scheduled to the Pre-Deal Larceny Prevention Act, the Country Fires Act, the Larceny Act, and certain sections in the Larceny Act, including larceny of cattle, simple larceny, killing of animals with intent to steal, pre-deal larceny itself, and so on.
Why them off to do that? Sure. Good question, the man asks now. Oh, shoot. I don't know.
Predicate offenses, really, around agricultural crimes under the POCA regime. All it takes is a ministerial order by the Minister of National Security to do it. And it's something that's long overdue, and I commend it to you. I think there needs to be an urgent review of the statutes that I've mentioned and the bringing of any serious agricultural crimes under the regime of POCA. Thank you.
Member from St. Mary's.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Minister, you mentioned about the training of agricultural wardens. You did not indicate whether they'll be given the power of a district constable. The fact is, you mentioned all the various methodologies and training program and the modules that they'll be exposed to. But I see we're coming to policing, and we all know that Pre-Deal Larceny has to thrive because people in the community are part of the enterprise when others come from outside. The other matter, Minister, is that you said the second recruitment will take place in Kingston, Hammond Barracks. But we have Pre-Deal Larceny primarily across the country, and I understand that it is designated to have it across the entire divisions, across the police divisions across the country. But wouldn't it be good optics to have the second one outside of Kingston instead of having it in Kingston?
Thank you very much, members. And I'll start from the member from Central St. Mary and work my way back up. So the first recruitment is in Westmoreland. all right? And the idea is to pull from all over. So we will have, the majority of the recruitment will happen in rural Jamaica, but again, you also have to look at some of the population centers. And the truth is, we do have challenges in St. Catherine in relation to Praia da Larceny. And what we also see is a number of rural people have relocated to Kingston. So sometimes you have to draw from that Kingston cohort where you get people from all over and redeploy them to where they're originally from. So again, we started in Westmoreland, we will be all over. The next one is in Kingston. The agricultural wardens, yes, under the Act, they do have the power of a district constable. So they are, and probably I should make this clear, the agricultural wardens will be members of the police force. There will be members of the JCF. And that is one of the things that we have been able to streamline in this new dispensation of agricultural wardens. So if you realize it is not the ministry going out to recruit agricultural wardens, it's the JCF. And they will go through police training, and probably so indicated it will address some of the concerns that the member from Southwest Clarendon has, and I'll come to it. But in fact, what we're doing is forming a formation within the police force that focuses on agricultural crime. Right? That is exactly what we're doing. So we would have started, and I'll come back to it to the end. So they will have police powers, member. In relation to the member from St. Andrew South, so some amendments were made to POCA. I will make some checks because I know that definitely in relation to anti-gang legislation, that persons who involve in agricultural crime that associate themselves in gangs can be brought under that legislation. So I will make some checks to see if some of the offenses that you raise have been covered. Yes. No, so I'm going to treat you those other two matters. In relation to the Praia da Larceny Prevention Act, the review has already been done. In fact, we're on the final draft now of those amendments. I'm trying to bring it to the House in this cycle before the end of the year. You know the back and forth with drafts. So you know when we say we're on the final draft, it means we've gone through 3 drafts already. So we're now on the final draft, looking to go to LegCom in this month or early November and try to get it to the House before the end of the year to make those changes that you would have highlighted. And the same in relation to Praia da Larceny under the Larceny Act. In relation to the member from Southeast St. Anne, no, so again, because there will be police officers, the intention is to also have them have the physical tools that they need, including mobility, right? Including one of the things that we discussed at length, that wasn't probably originally envisioned when you thought about warders, is whether they would be armed. But in this day and age and how agricultural crime has evolved, that's why we went in the direction of having them as full members of the police force. So they will have the physical tools. Now, we are putting in place traceability systems. So we have started with a national animal identification database. We've started with cattle. As it is now, it doesn't have a chip, but they have a barcode, right? And we have been tagging, and we have reached over 80%. We've reached a critical mass of the cattle that has been tagged. Clearly, it's a consistent process. What we're now looking on is what is the best model for our small ruminants, because again, we're dealing with much larger numbers than our cattle farmers. So, you know, Minister Hutchinson had spoken about it before in terms of looking at the technology that is employed across the world, that is employed here for some of our pets, and it's something that we're looking at.
Yeah.
The member from St. Andrew South.
Yeah. There's no prompt, but I'd be grateful if the question standing in my name could be answered.
My wisdom warriors, you know, tell me what you think about all this. Yeah? You know?
No. It sounds good, you know. It sounds good. But some deeper thought I have to really go into it, because I'm gonna feel like say what they need to do is if they're not doing it already, let me say if they're not doing it already, for the regular Jamaican that wants to understand all of these processes and is interested to find out how it really operates, are there any website in place where it breaks it down, you know, so we can actually, I'm not talking about legal jargon, I'm talking about keeping it simple, stupid. You understand what I'm saying? Is there any website in place where people can go and educate themselves on what does all of that really mean? Outside of what me personally can understand is that these people that will be wardens for these farms, they're actually going to be armed, and they're actually going to have the powers of the police. They're going to be police, but they're going to be specific police for that job. You understand? And I don't see a problem with that. I really don't. That's why I say it sounds good. However, the questions that Mark Golden asked, one of them stood out to me. Only $20,000 fine? Come on, man. Yo, nah, that's not gonna deter persons from trying to commit that crime. Especially in that area, farming, livestock. You gotta hit them where it hurts. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta hit them where it hurts. One, in the pockets. Two, the time in prison or punishment or hard community service. Some embarrassing stuff like hard labor for cleaning out the gutter. Yo, you know how much things these dudes can... Man, listen. You know how much things... Shout out to the new sub,
So Mike, you mean to tell me Diddy was touching on your leg while you were sitting right here on this couch? Trying to, but I seen him before. Diddy, get the hell out of the studio.
David Watson, subscribe to the channel.
Do you know how much things y'all could be using those the prisoners for, man? Yo, you could get them in some real, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to treat them right. You know what I'm saying? You got to equip them with the right gears. They should be cleaning out the gutters. They should be, they should have police with them so they can cut down trees. You feel what I'm saying? All types of things. Bro, weed whackers. Man, come on, man. What are we doing? Jamaica should be clean. And you could use the prisoners to do it. You could use the prisoners to do it. Obviously, you're going to need more police. Right? How you doing, Jennifer? Salute to you, love. Obviously, you're going to need more police to do it. Right? You're going to need more correctional officers. That's only going to create more jobs. Right? Trained operatives. Right? At least it's going to help the prisoners. Some of them is going to be so happy just to get out the jail and see the sun and feel the breeze and see the scenery. It's going to help them mentally too. There's a lot of positives from doing those things. Obviously, there's a risk of one trying to escape. Yes. But there's contingencies and technology that you can use to prevent that. How you doing, Aldiano? Hey, Aldiano, you and Jennifer together? Y'all pulled up at the same time? I'm just playing. Don't pay me no mind. But seriously though, they could do a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? They could do a lot, man. You talk about roads and all of this, man, stop, bro. Hard labor. There's so much ideas just popping in my head. I'm not even a politician. Use up the dudes, man. And then equip them, teach them. Yeah. She said she just come home, she watch the replay. Yo, Medea, bro. Trust me, you gotta watch the replay. This is or you can check out my uploads tomorrow, because I'm gonna upload all the clips that I clipped up. You already know what time it is. You know how we do. So I'm not worried so much when I don't see, because I got 6,000 subs. Obviously, all of them is not going to get the notification. But guess what I do? Cut up each part, load them up separately, and they go, oh, when did this happen? I didn't see this. I only watched this part of the live. You see? And if they catch the replay, it's all good nonetheless. Sometimes you might miss something. It's like reading a book. But what I'm saying is, man, there's a lot of good things that can come of this. One, I would love for the government to educate the people more, keep it simple, stupid, so we can understand what does all of this mean, right? Two, the the penalties for those types of crimes, it needs to amp up in terms of monetarily, and then also community work. Let me tell y'all something. If a man know that when he steals, you gonna give him the most embarrassing community work to do as cleaning out the slime out the gutters. Oh, what? And you gonna charge him? And he gonna do time? Man, listen. That's gonna make them think twice. I'm telling you right now. Especially if you build the economy and structure education in such a way where there is actual alternatives for them to do something good with their life, and then they choose to just steal. Yeah, man, charge them, put them on the embarrassing community work service, all of that. Man, let them know you are stupid. You're stupid. All right? You should have been done the right things, because the right things actually pay. You know, one of the other things I would love for the government to do, and this has nothing to do with this particular reaction to what was said there. The government needs to incentivize young people getting married at an early age. And let me tell you what I mean by that. If a couple chooses to get married between the ages of 22 to 25 or 20 to 25, that 5-year window, and they decide to start a family, the government needs to give them incentive to start a family then, right? And the incentive should be, you're going to put up 3/4 on their mortgage, their house. Whatever house they want, the government is going to pay for 3/4 of their house. You can't tell me we are not going to have more homeowners at that point. And we're not going to have more structured families. The nuclear family structure will be risen up again. You can't tell me that we can't do that. Can't tell me that. Can't tell me that. Right? Yeah. Talk about building communities. Right? Man, listen. I don't know if people no, you guys don't know because you really don't know me. But I don't have any intentions of being a politician ever in my life. Ever. However, I have the intention that if I was to wield that type of power in terms of how I can affect change in my community, trust me, I already have ideas. I already envisioned things that I would do. And it surrounds real estate, infrastructure, because the home, man, like food, clothing, and shelter, family, the nuclear family, that means a lot to me. We need more homeowners. We need more nuclear family homeowners. You understand what I'm saying? We need to start, and trust me, once you start doing that, building home ownership and family structure, the nuclear family, crime is there's going to be a dent in crime, a significant dent in crime and violence in the society. I am certain of it. Right? Absolutely certain of it. Right? Building good communities, neighborhood watch. I'm talking about sports, the police, everybody involved like it used to be. When you used to play ball, man, the cops was there playing ball with us too. And I've heard the UIC and Mark Golden speak around that vision of how to actually not eliminate, but almost kill or destroy crime and violence being this monster in our society. This cancer that's taken up like 75 to 80% of our community. Every time you hear an argument with somebody on the street, oh, what them we doing, what them having, like, yo, like, can we just walk away? We don't see, can we just do that? That's cool too. You can't just walk away. You ain't gotta do all of that, man. That's not even manly, to be honest with you. To be really, really honest with you, it's not even manly. Why would you want to crash out? Especially when it's not even that serious. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I don't know, but let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. You feel me?